What's up, guys? It's your boy Austin Rutherford. Today, we're talking about how to flip houses. No, not me. Houses. One thing I can tell you, it's nothing like the TV series. It's nothing like Flip or Flop or Flip in Vegas or House Hunters. It's not like any of those things. They tend to leave a lot of the details out sometimes.
That was a headache. Once you get a system to it, it makes it a little bit easier.
This home on Franklin Avenue is his current reno. It was a 5-bedroom, 1-bathroom.
So if you want to do it yourself, you got to know the important details. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today, the 7 steps to flipping a house. Without any further ado, let's get to it. So step number 1, you got to find the deal first. Without a deal, there's obviously no money to be made. And there's 3 ways that you can find a deal. Way number 1 is if a realtor brings you the deal. What that means is that you speak to a realtor and you ask them to send you deals that are in your square footage or in your area that you want to buy or in the price point that you want to buy or the number of bedrooms and bathrooms that you want to buy. So you reach out to them, tell them you're interested, and then they'll start sending you these deals. The catch to that is everybody and their mother is all doing the same thing. They're all getting sent the same exact deals. So unless that's some magical deal that they heard about before anybody else heard about, which is not normal, then it's probably not your best way of finding a deal. But there are some deals on the MLS, just not as many. The second way that you can find a deal is if a wholesaler brings you a deal. A wholesaler is somebody that finds deals for you and then sells you those deals, and then they get paid a commission for their time. They get paid a fee for their time. And the third way is to find the deals yourself. This is how we get most of our deals. 70-80% of our deals we find ourselves, and they are the most lucrative deals out there because you don't have to pay any middleman. You get straight to the homeowner. You find the deal through either driving for dollars, direct mail, cold calling, bandit signs, Google ads, social media ads, whatever type of marketing that is, you get direct to the seller, and then you negotiate the price rate from there. And those are the most profitable deals you can have because you don't have to pay anybody else. Step number 2 is you have to evaluate the deal. You have to see if the deal even makes sense. And the way people normally analyze these deals is by a simple formula. Some people have super detailed Excel spreadsheets, but a basic formula to figure this out is you take the ARV, the after repaired value, what the property is worth once it's fully fixed up, and then you multiply that by 70%. 70%, 65 to 75%, most use 70%. So take that, multiply it by 70%, then you subtract the amount of repairs that are needed on the property. So once you're talking with the seller, once they describe the property, you have to estimate what the amount of repairs are going to be. So you subtract your repairs, and then that equals your MAO, your maximum allowable offer. So it's ARV times 70% minus repairs equals your MAO. That is the highest price that you can pay a seller for that house to still make it profitable for you. Or at the end of this video, we're going to link directly to a video that I did that talks about a full process of how to analyze the deal. So make sure you stick around for that. And the issues that most people have when evaluating deals is most people overestimate the ARV. They overestimate what they think the property can sell for, and then they underestimate the amount of renovation work that's needed. So you're pushing numbers in opposite directions. You should be more conservative on your ARV, and you should be more conservative on your renovation budget. So best case scenario, you make more money. Worst case scenario, you still make the money you want to make. When people overestimate the ARV and underestimate the renovation cost, that's when people get caught and could possibly lose money. And then once you come up with your maximum allowable offer, you make the offer to the seller. And I want to stress something here. This is very, very important. You do not make money when you sell the property. You make money when you buy the property. Some people get emotional about this and they move numbers around to make it make sense for them when the deal really doesn't make sense, and you lose money immediately when you do that. You have to buy right. You make your money on the buy. You realize that money on the sell. You have to buy on numbers and not on emotions. And then step number 3, you got to get the money. You got to get the money to fund the deal. Unless you got 6-7 figures, you were born into wealth. I know I wasn't anything like that. So what I did is I had to raise money from other people to fund my deals. Just like I got to raise the number of likes, comments, subscribers on my YouTube channel. If you want to go ahead and hit that like, subscribe, and comment, that'd be awesome. Anywho, a few ways for you to raise money. You can Google the words hard money lender in your city. So there's institutions, there's companies out there that lend money to rehabbers, investors just like us, that will fund deals for you to renovate. So Google hard money lenders, that's definitely a way to get money. They'll usually lend 60 to 90% of the deal. So if you need $200,000 to buy and renovate a deal, they'll usually give you $140,000 to $180,000. So you're still gonna have to have a little bit of money brought to the table at the end of the day. So you gotta have that money, or you have to raise that money from somebody else. The second way to raise money for a deal is private money lenders. So what private money lenders is, basically an individual takes the place of a bank. Just like when you go out and buy a house, a bank lends money on that deal. When you go out and buy a rehab, a private money lender can fund that deal for you. It's the easiest way, but it's the hardest way to create the relationship, because you can't just Google private money lenders. They're private for a reason. You have to build a relationship with these people and get them interested in lending you money. And these people can be like your parents, your cousins, your grandparents, your friends' parents, somebody you meet at the bank, somebody you meet at the bar, somebody you meet out golfing, somebody you meet at the country club. These individuals you can literally meet anywhere and everywhere. So anytime you're out, what I do is I try and raise money at all times. I tell people I'm a real estate investor and I use other people's money to fund my deals. And then right there, it could pop off a conversation and I could raise money. And with these individuals, they can actually loan 100% of the deal. So you actually don't need any money out of pocket. The benefit is it's literally you dealing directly with another individual. You're building a relationship with them and you're negotiating the terms between you and them, not between a bank or a lending institution or an underwriter. It's literally you and the other person negotiating the terms. It's the best way to do deals is by raising other people's money. The third way is to use your own money. You know, if you got it like that, yeah, I got it like that. Nah, not that. But if you do have the money, that's obviously an easy way to get into the game as well. Step number 4 is finding the contractors and managing the contractors. In my opinion, this is the hardest part about flipping houses. Finding the right people and the right team is going to be the most difficult part, so make sure you pay attention. They're always trying to get over on you. They're always trying to sneak something by you, make more money. It's always going to happen. So actually, again, at the end of this video, I did an entire video on how to find, hire, and manage and fire contractors. So make sure you stay to the end so you can check that video out as well. But the basic steps is you have to find them. So the way you find these contractors is from referrals, meeting them at Home Depot, meeting them at Lowe's, posting on Facebook. All of those ways are ways you can meet contractors, and you have to go out there and meet these people to get them on your team. Then you're gonna have to hire them. So the process of hiring them for us is we create a very detailed scope of work. So we write down every single thing that we want done in the property, from the paint color to the trim color to the tile color to the cabinets to the framing to the insulation to the light fixtures, everything detailed in the scope of work. And then we put a payment schedule together. One thing you never do, you never pay contractors up front. Some contractors may need a little bit of money to handle the materials, to purchase the materials, but a lot of contractors will say, hey, I need 25% down, 50% down, 75% down. Never put that money down, because most of the time you're never gonna see those contractors again. I've been burnt way too many times like that. I might front the contractor some money to buy some materials, a little bit, like a couple $100 maybe. But do not pay these people up front, because they will try and get over on you. And then to manage them, you obviously got to ensure that they complete the job. So you'll learn dealing with contractors, they'll get into a job and they start saying they underbid it, or they need more money, or they didn't realize it was that much work, or I need 2 more weeks, or I need 2 more months. They're going to give you all the excuses in the world. So you have to manage them and hold them to a timeline to get the project done on time and on budget. Step number 5 is dealing with the unknowns. Now this is the fun part, because stuff happens all the time. Ask me how I know. You know, I've got stories about sewer lines backing up into the house. I've got stories of vandalism, people breaking into the house, stealing entire appliance sets, stealing entire trim packages, stealing wood packages. I got all types of stories here, but there's always going to be some things that go wrong. You might get into the project and there's termites that you didn't notice. Or again, you might get into the project and the sewer line backs up. Or you might actually buy a house that's literally falling off of the foundation. Man, had to redo it all. Got new footers and new walls going in here. Ask me how I learned about this one. We had to literally jack up the entire house and rebuild the entire foundation walls, tear down the back structure of the building, and rebuild a new 2-story addition. That was a hard lesson learned. And one of the craziest things to me, so they'll go in and rip out all the electric in the house for that one tiny piece of copper inside the electric, and they'll take that to the recycling to get paid for that copper, and they may get paid, $100, $200, $300, and it costs us like $2,000 to $5,000 to rewire the entire house. It's one of the most frustrating things in the world. A buddy of mine, they do this with plumbing too. They'll cut out plumbing lines. So he said he put an envelope on the plumbing lines with $300 in it and said, please take money, leave copper. Crazy neighbors sometimes, you know, those are all the fun things you're gonna have to deal with. But seriously, things will come up. You have to keep a level head and you have to make decisions that are logical, decisions that are based on numbers and not 1 second thought processes. Gotta play it cool. You wanna evaluate the situation and then figure out what the best outcome is instead of just making a decision that you might regret and that might lose you a lot of money at the end of the day. So you gotta work with your team to get it done. Like I said, things come up. You gotta work with your contractor. You gotta work with your realtor. You gotta work with neighbors sometimes. You just gotta be friends with everybody and have everybody work together to get whatever the issue is completed. Step number 6 is actually selling the house. So you're gonna have to go out and find a realtor to work with. So again, you can ask for referrals. You can post on Facebook. You can probably drive up and down the street and see a realtor sign in the yard, pick it up, give them a call, and get them to list the house for you. And please, 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 if this is a very, very high-end house, new construction, you know, high-end for your area, stage the house. Don't make it look terrible. Please stage the house. If it's low-end, you know, first-time homeowner, you know, rentable, whatever it is, maybe don't stage it at that point. If it's a super nice house, please stage it. And then get that baby on the market, because that's when you get paid. But don't do it too soon. Do not put it on the market before it's completed. I've learned that lesson as well. You know, we had to go in and do some paint touch up. We had to go in and clean still. And I was like, nah, forget this. Get it on the market, get the pictures done, get it staged and list it. And then while people are looking at the house when it's for sale, there's contractors in there tearing the house up again. Terrible idea. So do not list the house until the house is actually 100% completed. Then you got to negotiate. You know, you'll get a buyer at some point at the end of the day, and you got to negotiate the terms and the price and the conditions and everything like that. And then you move forward from there. And then step number 7 is payday, baby. This is the fun part of it all. You got to go get your check from closing. Might be one of the biggest checks you've ever held before. It's a great feeling. And then once you get that check, you get to go out and blow a bag, you know, go on vacation, buy some new shoes, buy a Louis belt, get a new crib, get a car, hit the club and dance like, nope, don't do that either. Don't do any of those things because you're not going to have that money to reinvest into the company. If you go out and blow all that money, you won't be able to reinvest and you won't be able to duplicate and replicate what you just did to continue making more and more money. So reinvest that money back into the business. And if you don't put it into that immediate business, invest it into real estate, invest it into rentals. Then you start duplicating and multiplying your investments. So those are the 7 steps to flipping your first house. There it is, you know, straightforward to the point. Steps 1 to 7, you can go out and flip your own house. So I hope you enjoyed this. We got the 2 videos here on how to analyze a property top to bottom and how to find, hire, manage, and fire contractors top to bottom. So make sure you check those out. And if this video added any value, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. YouTube loves that algorithm. And if anything didn't make sense, drop a comment and I'll get back to you. Appreciate you guys.